your name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like me, be like, hey, what's up, everybody? And then Ryan Anishate,
Hmm.
comma Vista.
Or I like this topic a lot.
Yes.
Lorraine, Lubong, El Cajon.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you can shout out your local congregation once per comment, but you can leave as many comments as you want. Okay?
Yes.
Alrighty. So let's move on with the rest of the show. Our topic is about movies that inspire us. We're gonna be talking about a series. Well, the movie's called Guerrero. If you guys haven't watched it, it's you can watch it on YouTube. Go to the EBC Films channel, and we actually have a guest today.
Yes.
Shall we introduce him?
Yes, you shall.
Okay, let's shall.
You shall.
Let's shall.
We're so excited to have our brother
Yes.
with us today.
His name is Brother Mike Figueroa. What's up, Brother Mike? Come on board, bro. Yeah, give it up, Brother Mike.
Hi, buddy.
How are you, Brother Mike?
I'm doing well, Ryan. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So we already introduced you and your name, and I did a good job, right?
Yes, brother.
Yes.
Thank you for getting there. Yes.
Yeah.
Great job.
We had
Great job, Ryan.
I had a hard time pronouncing it during dry run, but that's why we have dry run.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
But for now, introduce yourself. Who are you? Where you from? Anything that we might not know about you?
Sure. My name is Mike Figueroa, or Brother Mike Figueroa. I'm from the local congregation of Menifee. I am the fourth head deacon in our local congregation.
Nice.
Yeah.
And is it just you, or do you
Actually, I have a wife and 2 kids, so I am married. If they're watching, hi guys. I have 2 kids. My son is 6 years old, and my daughter just turned 2 years old a couple weeks ago, actually.
2 years old?
Yeah.
Wow.
Terrible twos.
I was about to say I'm not a dad, but I could only imagine.
Yeah, it's a stereotype for a reason. It is. Yeah, it's a stereotype for a reason, bro. So, we call her Sour Patch because
Sour Patch.
Yeah, it's funny because one moment she'll be the sweetest baby, and the next minute she's torturing the dog or her older brother. So yeah, she'll swing from one end to the other in seconds. So
unconditional love.
Yes, that's definitely something you need. 100%. Yeah.
Nice,
but she
nice.
definitely fits the Sour Patch commercials. Where she'll hit you with something, and then she'll come back and give you a hug and be the sweetest thing, all in like the same motion of the hand. It's talent, really.
I see. In no way that we are sponsored by Sour Patch.
Right.
Just letting y'all know. Just letting y'all know. So you did tell us about your daughter. How about your son?
My son is 6 years old. He is in kindergarten right now, and so it is. It's super cool actually, because you start to really see their growth and their development, especially as you start going to award ceremonies and different things like that. And it's always that little bit of like a bittersweet moment, because you see your child growing and becoming more and more of their own person, and you're so proud of it. But at the same time, there's always that little piece of you that just misses when they were younger and you were holding them and they were running around. So I guess I should say he still runs around, but now it's not as cute as when he was a baby. But
I see.
But it's awesome. It's really cool being a parent and watching your kids grow up. It's awesome.
Yeah.
This reminds me of a topic we had, I think, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Love of the motherhood.
Yeah. I can't wait for the next
one.
Part.
We might be looking for a guest.
Love of the fatherhood.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like it, brother. I like it. Yeah.
We shall see.
Shout out to my wife as well, because really she holds the whole family together. She's the glue in our house. So she keeps everything functioning. She often says she has 3 kids. And me being the third.
You're the oldest?
I'm the oldest. Yeah, 100%. I'm the oldest. If anything ever goes missing in the house, somehow she can find it, but between the 3 of us, we'll never find it. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure how that works. Yeah, I think our eyes all work differently in some way. It's got to be it.
Super mom.
100%.
Nice.
Yep.
So, Brother Mike, is there any hobbies that you like to do? Do you have time for hobbies?
In the time that I might have for hobbies, I actually really like to. I'm into cars, actually, which is kind of how I got into my profession at work. So I actually work at a Honda dealership down in Poway. And cars being a hobby kind of brought me into that. So I love going out for drives. Just kind of takes it's a good way to get your mind off of everything. Or actually the opposite too. Sometimes it's a great way to just kind of think and process as you're driving. Get a little bit of music playing in the background. You know, shout out to our INC original music playing in the background. So
nice plug.
It's always nice. And then I love watching a good movie.
Hey, yes.
Speaking of good movies, I feel like we have something good to talk about today, right?
Yes. Are there any movies you've watched recently?
So, you know, I was actually I just finished watching Guerrero 1,
nice.
part 1, and in the process of getting through Guerrero part 2. And what a movie.
Right?
It's awesome. It's really, really good. It's such, you know, speaking of our topic of inspiring movies, I think this one just falls right into that category.
Exactly.
So it's awesome. I love it. I love it.
And before we start this whole topic, let's ask our chat. We have a question for everyone. Which Guerrero film was your favorite?
Ooh.
A, Guerrero 1, B, Guerrero 2, or C, Guerrero 3?
Yeah. So like I said before, you can watch Guerrero 1. I'm gonna call it Guerrero 1 and Guerrero 2 on YouTube. Guerrero 3, I know there was a film showing throughout various local congregations. If you caught that, you were blessed because now you can't watch it right now, not yet, but I know eventually it'll be available on YouTube. But
Lorraine, is there a D, option D for all of the above?
Yes.
Movies?
We just created
it.
I think there's got to be an option D for all of the above.
Okay, here you go. Brother Mike said. So if you watch all of them, just put in answer D. But so out of us here, which one's your favorite?
I would say the first one.
The first one,
obviously.
I would agree. Nothing like the original movie.
Yes,
you know, I feel like the originals are always great. It's such, again, they're all very inspiring and very an admirable movie to watch. But the first one, I think that's the one that kind of really hit home for me. You know, there was some tear jerkers throughout, and then some comedic relief in there as well. But I think a lot of the life lessons that I got from that one is so general that it kind of just fits a little bit of everything that I think we all go through in life. You know?
Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched any of the movies, we're going to mention some things about them. Still want you to tune in, but maybe turn your volume down. No, but so I'm just going to talk about each movie because I did watch them all. They kind of just intertwine with one another, the story.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the first one, Guerrero, he's a boxer, and he got knocked out. Nasty knockout. Took him out for like 5 years. And then he woke up and he was looking for his family. Pretty much in a nutshell, that's the first one. The second one is where they explain the lost years of Ramon Guerrero, the boxer. And then I think the third one, if I remember correctly, he woke up and now he's looking for his family. And I could talk about it more, but it's not available, so watch out for that one. It's a good one. It's a good one.
Hopefully that will inspire some of our viewers and listeners to want to watch the movies, at least the first two that they can see.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like without Miguel, his little brother
Miguel,
the movies wouldn't be the same.
No.
You know, he's a good adding factor to what makes Ramon's story very inspiring. Right?
Yeah.
100%. I agree. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. So in this story, the way I see it, Ramon is very serious. He goes through a lot of problems. But then Miguel, he's going through the same problems, but from a different perspective. But he adds comedy to the issues that he's going through. Just, just something to maybe it's a coping mechanism.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I think, Miguel is kind of that one friend that we have in life that it's always really nice to have them around. Just because they seem to always be able to find the light in all the situations that we go through.
That's right.
And it's really awesome, especially seeing that from someone who is as young as Miguel. I think in the movie he was around 9-10 years old, somewhere around there. Trying to think back to when we were in elementary school learning about the planets, because that's when
he did an analogy.
That's when he was, so but I think it's all the more inspiring to see someone who is as young as he is and really just keeping the positive outlook on life, because like you mentioned, Ramon, his older brother, was really the first one to kind of take the grunt of the hardships in life. You know, he was kind of at the forefront of it for his family. He's always trying to look out and provide for him and his mom. You know, there were scenes where he was the one taking his brother out to go buy food and to have dinner and stuff. And so I think that he really he carries the weight of the hardships that they were going through. And Miguel really just kind of helped balance out you know, looking at and reminding him of the positive things, even the little jabs that he throws in there, you know, speaking of boxing, little jabs he throws in there about him being shy and stuff. So I think overall it's an awesome movie. And like I said, you know, life lesson wise, there was one quote in there, especially in the first one, that I think for me really hits home. And I think it's such a great, almost like a general term or general thing that we can all kind of always use in our life. And it just has to do with, you know, it was at the end of the first movie, after he woke up from a coma, he was in a coma for like 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah. So there was so much that changed in the 5 years that he was asleep. And he was going through a really, really low point where he was finding out his mom had just passed away. Sorry for the spoilers. And he was looking for his little brother. The person that he was in love with before he went to a coma had just got married and had a life of her own.
Heartbreaking.
And so he had all of these things one after another that just pile up after you wake up from, you know, such a scary point in your life. And his coach comes to him, and there's a few words that he says, and he looks at Ramon and goes, you know, life isn't about how many times you're knocked down. Life is about how many times you get back up and how you get back up. And I feel like for all of us, whatever we're going through, it's such an inspiring thing to hear, because you know, like we were just talking about, right? Ramon is always going through all these hardships. He's always at the front of all of it. And I think that in life, it's so easy to forget about the little things like that. And I think that was just a perfect reminder of, no matter how many times we do get knocked down, what really makes a warrior, right? A Guerrero. What really makes a warrior is how they get up and how many times they're able to get back up. So
it's the fight in them.
It's the fight in them. It's the fight in all of us.
Yeah.
So I think that was that's what hit home for me. That one really resonated. Yeah.
Now that I think about it, Miguel, he fights a different way.
He does.
He does. He keeps the positivity in him. That's what keeps him going.
100%.
And then something else I learned is that you might not win everything, but it's the lessons you've learned along the way. Like the journey of going through the hardships and troubles makes you a better person.
Life's not always about the destination. It's about the journey. And you know, it's kind of funny the way you mentioned Miguel fights a different way. I think the boxing part of the movie kind of ties that in together as well, because every boxer, every fighter has a different style, right? Some of them are counter fighters, some of them are more aggressive, some are more patient, but every style works in its own ways differently. And I think that's really cool too in the movie, that you get to see different perspectives. It's almost like they're their own fighters or their own boxers.
Because not everybody's life is the same, you know.
100%.
We all fight it differently.
And for both movies, there's always a side story for each character.
That's true.
And also just in overall theme for the two movies, I like that they have the support system. You know, they weren't just showing the battles that Ramon was facing. Everyone was going through something, like you guys mentioned, and they were there for one another. I think there was a part in the second movie where they were in the hospital and people just, you know, gathered together because they were patients as well, right? And those patients were going through some hardships, but again, Miguel was sort of the positive light for everyone in the hospital.
That's true.
Like including the nurse and the other patients
and the grandparents.
The
or
grandparents.
the Lola that were in there.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to mention that our chat engagers are
they're
viewers. they're talking about the movies as well. Sister Edith and Yanka also said that she watched all three of the movies. Yes.
Option D. And then Sister Leto Ordinario. Shout out to my grandson Gavin, who just celebrated his 19th birthday in the local
Aw.
congregation of Cerritos. Happy
Aw.
birthday, Brother Gavin.
Happy
That is
birthday.
Yeah. We got another one from Broger, or Brother Roger Bogrowski. We
Mhm.
watched it, loved it in the function hall. It was packed in the local congregation of Vista.
And we have from Brother Ronnie Lee, your brother. He
Hey.
said he also watched Walang Take 2 and all the Guerrero films. All are really good films and very inspiring. I like
see
that.
what he did there. The comments.
Really? Yeah, R-E-E-L.
I like it. I see
Yes,
what he
yes.
did there.
Thank you, bro. From Sister Kat Berlin. We're talking about her show. She was the
Mhm.
guest 2 weeks ago. We used to call my daughter the diva baby. Is that how it is, Brother Mike?
Yeah, we're with Sister Cat on that one.
Yeah.
100%. Oh yeah, especially her falls out of nowhere when she's tired. Sorry,
Uh-huh.
just a tangent. Yeah, it's always just out of nowhere. She'll just fall and start crying. And you're like, nothing even happened.
She can be an actress. So yeah, when she was 2 years old, so many opinions. North San Diego.
Mhm.
And then Kat also says, still need to see the first 2 Guerrero movies. Thank you for the rec. Yes, of course. Life is about how you can get back up.
Yes,
So true.
absolutely.
Even if you fall down, just keep trying to get back up and keep going.
Exactly.
That's right.
Love that.
That's
And from
right.
Sister Precious Capistrano, see everyone po attending the special subsea gathering tonight at El Cajon. So she is
Yes.
plugging a special gathering
Yes.
tonight at the local congregation of El Cajon.
Yes, that's right. 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got one from Brother Jeffrey Dionisio, our director. Join the local shout out challenge by shouting out your local.
Mm-hmm.
Avoid using hashtags.
Yes.
So, for example, if you're shouting out Temecula Valley,
Mhm.
all you gotta do is just put in those 3 letters,
Or
TMV.
simply even just engaging with our discussion. Just leave a comment and
Yes.
put wherever you're tuning in from.
That's right. we got more comments. One from Sister Precious Capistrano.
Oh, I said that already.
Oh, you did. That's right.
Yes,
I
but
think
yes,
we got Brother
Samson.
Calvin in Dioco.
Hey,
ooh.
Yeah.
You wanna read this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning, beloved brethren. Shout out to my mama and brother, Sister Edith, and Brother Gabriel, which was actually one of our first comments that we read.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Brother Michael Figueroa, miss
Hey.
everyone in SD.
Aw.
Yeah, so he commented Victorville and OCC.
Nice.
Love that.
Thank you, Brother Mike.
Mm.
And then we got one from Elmer. Yo. Hello, good day, brethren. Happy viewing from the Philippines. Hey, thank you. She's viewing from the local congregation of Antimonan, District of Quezon East.
Wow.
Thank you for tuning
international.
in. Yeah, nice.
And then Sister Kat says, Brother Mike, we call that fall out of nowhere wet
Noodle.
What noodle? I don't get it.
I don't know what that means.
Do you know?
I think it's a parent thing.
Oh,
Okay.
it's a parent thing.
We'll eventually get there.
Yeah,
Sometime.
you'll get there. When you know, you know.
Yes.
Okay.
We're with you, Sister Cat. We got you.
He's with me. Okay. Oh, we got another one. Oh, June and Abner. They say,
Ponciano.
thank you so much for pronouncing that last name. Happy 76th birthday po to Sister Remy of Menifee.
Oh, happy
That's awesome.
Happy birthday.
Sister Remy is one of our deaconesses in our local congregation.
Oh, shout out
So
to you,
that is
Sister
awesome.
Remy.
Aw.
Yes.
And we have
Alrighty.
one more question for our live viewers.
Yes.
Speaking of all of our films with Guerrero, how have these films inspired or influenced you?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, we've
a good
already
one.
briefly
Yeah.
talked about
Mhm,
the different themes of Guerrero,
mhm.
but do we have anything else?
Yeah. One way well, Miguel, I think he's my favorite character because
Yeah.
he's funny.
Mm-hmm.
But like, even though he's going through problems,
Yeah.
he still helps out other people,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
is very selfless.
Mhm,
Like
mhm.
that Lolo or the grandpa in the hospital,
Yeah.
he wasn't the nicest person in the world,
Yeah.
but Miguel just didn't give up on him, and he
Mhm.
eventually helped him, and they became friends.
Mhm.
He taught him how to dance.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Well,
So,
I
yeah.
think actually that you brought that up, right?
Uh-huh.
One of the things I think it was mentioned briefly by, actually, I think it was the nurse.
Yeah.
Miguel was kind of questioning, why is he so mean to everybody?
Mm.
And not to excuse the actions of the Lolo during that time, but
Mhm.
I think she made a good point. She said sometimes we don't know what that other person's going through.
No, you don't.
And I think that
Ah.
that's something that we also tend to overlook in life sometimes.
Mhm.
And and again, it's not to excuse someone being rude or mean to anybody else,
Mhm.
but in the back of our heads to help ourselves stay in a good mindset.
Mhm.
I think that's kind of a good thing to remember. You don't know what that person may or may not be going through, and we all saw that the Lolo was going through a really hard time where his wife was hospitalized and she was fighting for her life. And I think for any of us here, that would be an extremely hard thing to do. You know, whether it's our own grandparents, whether it's our wife, like it was for him, whether it's someone's parents. So, you know, I think, like you said, Miguel always just had that positive outlook. And I think the nurse this time actually kind of gave him a nice positive reminder as well. So that's awesome.
So that's a cool lesson to learn from the Lolo story, the grandfather story that Miguel helped us like eventually learn as well.
Yeah.
You know, another thing. Oh, sorry, Larry.
No, go ahead.
Do you have anything?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
I love listening.
Another thing I learned from Miguel is the nurse.
Yes.
She eventually continued on in a different path in her career, and because Miguel like talked to her too, right? Like the little conversations you have with anybody. You kind of learn something on your own, and she learned that she wants to pursue her real dream,
which was
artist.
That's right. If you think about it, the other the love interest in the first movie, she became an artist also, but in music industry. So
I think what's cool with the movies is because there's so many little side stories. I think it makes the movie a little more relatable to everybody. Because you know, like we talked about earlier, and we continue to talk about, is there's so many different problems and challenges that we go through in life, and for everybody it's a little differently. And I think what's cool about the movie is because of all the little side stories that are happening at the same time, you get to kind of see a little bit of everyone's different challenges, and it makes it that much more relatable. And I think if you can relate to something, if you can relate to a movie in this case, it's that much more inspirational for the person watching. So
that's right.
All the more reason to watch the movie.
Definitely, I would definitely recommend this to anybody that just wants a movie to watch. I mean, this one's free. It's on YouTube.
It's a good movie night movie with the family.
There you go.
A couple tear jerkers in there. Keep the tissues nearby. You know. But
let's
we've talked about a lot.
Let's go read some comments here. We have one from Rochelle Castillo Manuel. Happy birthday, brother Ernesto Manuel and brother Goody.
Managuit.
Yes.
Managuit.
My local congregation of
National City.
I'm like North City. Sorry. And one from Luisa Hernandez. Happy viewing, brethren. Oh, there you go, Kat Berling again. I love stories with grandparents. I'm so grateful that I had relationships with all of mine. Especially since they have passed now. North San Diego. What noodle? She explains it. Okay, when they fall on the floor and become a dead weight, so you can't pick them up anymore or easily. Oh, I see now.
Especially, Sister Kat can relate to this, especially when it's bedtime.
And
you're tired. Trying to pick them up, and they're like.
Brother Mike, thank you so much for being an awesome guest.
Thank you guys for having me. So happy to be here. Thank you so much.
But before we let you go, you have any shout outs you'd like to mention?
Actually, speaking of shout outs, wanted to shout out the local Menifee. We are about to celebrate our 1 year anniversary as a local. So it's very awesome. We're very excited, very blessed for this past year that we've had together. So it's very, very awesome. And then always shout out to my loving wife. I can't do everything that I do without you by my side. And even to our kids who give us the biggest challenge in unconditional love.
I love that.
Love it. Shout out to Brother Mike and to his family. Thank you so much, Brother Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Bye.
She's already gonna close out. Lorraine, do you see that? It looks like it's activities
on the horizon.
Yes, that's right. Just like what we had on February 14th, we had an evangelical mission sponsored by Scan Eye and CMDPS.
And we also had February 15th, the bowling clinic and social at Mira Mesa Lanes. And I believe they also had the Unity Games as well on the 17th.
That's right. And that's what's on the horizon for the San Diego Satellite Studio. Oh, Are you getting hyped?
What are we getting hyped for?
Am I in the right segment?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm getting hyped because we're going to mention the local shout-out challenge. Real quick, these are everybody's local congregations. How many are there? We got like CV, Hemet,
Menifee,
EC,
TMV, NC, NSD, and Vista.
And now here, in no particular order, are your top 3 winners from last week's challenge.
With the local congregation of
Menifee! All right. And the local congregation of
Temecula Valley.
Yeah. And the local congregation of Vista. Woo-hoo. There's still time left in the show. Go ahead and continue to shout out your local congregation. And with that being said, we thank Brother Mike for being our special guest, and I thank you for co-hosting.
Thank you so much, Brian. And
yes.
It's the end of our show.
Yes,
right?
it is.
Yeah.
So we'd like to thank these individuals that helped make INC Radio possible. Thank you so much to Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, our Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Aranio Manalo, the SEPSI President, and Brother Wally Taray, the INC Radio Station Manager.
Brother Matthew Capistrano, our Supervising Minister of SDC, Brother Erman Bendisho, our Assistant Supervising Minister of SDC, and Brother Christian Ko, our District Multimedia Advisor. Up next,
INC Radio Sacramento. That does it for us here on INC Radio San Diego. We will catch you on the next wave. Also next week, tune into INC Radio San Diego. The topic is going to be about healthier alternatives when it comes to eating.
Yes, exciting.
All right.
Exciting.
Bye. Guerrero. Guerrero. Guerrero.
This is INC Radio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.